Welcome to the Just Women Sports podcast, where we talk to the biggest athletes in the world about the untold stories behind their success. I'm Kelley O'Hara, and my guest today is Breanna Stewart. Stewie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Is it okay I call you Stewie? I don't think we've ever met in real life, and I feel weird about calling people nicknames or calling people the wrong name if I haven't met them. So are you?
No, you can call me Stewie. Stewie's good.
You don't care when people call you Stewie?
No.
That don't know you.
I prefer it because they mispronounce my name. So
yeah, because it's Breanna, not Breanna. Yeah, exactly. Stewie's easy. I like Stewie. It's a good nickname. Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, where are you today? In Seattle?
Yeah, I'm in Seattle. I've been here since March.
How's it been going?
It's kind of interesting. It's 2020 has been quite the year so far, but
for sure.
I came back from Russia in March. Our season got canceled, so flying back through all of that, being in a city where it's usually loud. I mean, I live downtown and the streets were empty.
Totally. Yeah, same with DC. It was crazy. So weird I would go for bike rides and it was just empty, no cars on the road.
I came home, I don't know what day it was, but my dog, it was a Friday night. And the bars are usually loud, things like that. And it was nothing. It was whoa. Crazy.
What was it like in Russia getting back here? Were you panicked trying to get on the soonest flight? Because things happened so quickly.
Yeah, they did happen so quickly. And it was kind of being in Russia, I think I was 12 hours ahead, 13 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So every morning I would wake up and it was kind of something new would happen. And my teammate, so one of my teammates for the Storm, Sammy Whitcomb, she was supposed to come play us because she played on Montpellier. Mm-hmm. So she was supposed to come play us for EuroLeague. And she texted me all of a sudden, was like, we're not coming. We're not coming to Russia because we don't want to risk the chance of not being able to come back to France. And then the next day it was the NBA was postponed. And then the next day it was Trump put the travel ban. And it was just I was just in Russia,
what do I do?
And I felt like I was on the outside of a fishbowl, just watching everyone kind of freak out about this. And Russia was just saying, they were we have no cases. And I'm okay.
Wow. Fascinating. So what made you come back when your league got suspended?
Yeah, so they canceled the league. Yeah, and then they canceled Russian league. So once both of the leagues were done, then they were well, you guys don't have to stay here.
True. Nothing to see here, nothing to do here. Go on home. Yeah. Wow, crazy. Well, let's just get right into it. We're going to start at the beginning. You're born in Syracuse, New York, 1994. You're a baby compared to me. What was your early home life like, and how did you first get into basketball?
Yeah. So early home life, in the beginning it was me and my mom. Biological dad is not really in the picture. Never was and really never has been. From there, when I was probably 4 or 5, the person who I call my dad kind of came to my life and became part of our family, and he was the one that kind of got me started with basketball, just getting me active and able to do things,
Was he a basketball fan, or did he see something in you and was oh, I want to get her into basketball?
I think he was a fan, and it was just also I needed to be doing something. I played soccer for a hot second, and wow,
how'd that go?
Let me tell you, it did not go great. I think if I was supposed to play, I should have been a goalie.
Probably.
I was not the goalie.
You would have been a legit 9 or a center back too. So don't count that out for yourself.
The hand-eye coordination came later.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But he kind of got me started and was he's even today, he's my biggest supporter, but biggest critic for sure.
Interesting. So how old were you when you started playing?
Probably 6 or 7.
Okay.
But, and not good.
Doing other sports, is that when you're still playing soccer? What does it look like?
I literally think I just went to one soccer camp because I remember I had like this blue soccer ball, and like that was my like soccer claim to fame.
Yeah.
I played softball, I played volleyball, and then as I continued to go through high school and that type of thing, I just focused on basketball.
So I read about your dribbling routine, and when did that happen? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so that happened when I was, I think in 5th grade.
Okay.
So I was in middle school, and it was summertime, and my dad was kind of like, "Hey, you should go dribble around the block." I was like, "What? Like what?"
Why?
I'm like, "Why? Yeah, I've never seen anyone dribble around the block."
Yeah.
So then I was like, "No." And then like the next day, "Hey, you should go dribble around the block." And I'm like, "No." Like, and then again, "You should go dribble around the block." And it was kind of like, "Fine. To please you, I'll do it."
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm dribbling around, and I'm like, my neighbors are looking at me. I'm like, "This is stupid. This is dumb. They're gonna like, what is this girl doing just dribbling around the block?" And then come to find out, it became my thing. It was something that I really did consistently until I graduated, and it helped just continue ball handling, I guess.
Yeah. Was that like your first, did you see your skills improve, like your game improve just from that time spent with the ball?
Yeah. I can definitely tell that I could see the improvement. I mean, in 5th grade, that's probably when I started playing AU and stuff like that. And I couldn't dribble between my legs. And it was like trying to figure out how I could dribble between my legs and like how many times in a row I could dribble between my legs. And then eventually, like when I look back to when I was a senior, I could go almost around the whole block, like things like that. It's just like perfecting that.
For sure. I feel like that was probably your first taste of like work hard, get rewarded, like see results.
Yeah.
So you became very good, very young. At what point did you realize you had the it factor, like you could go far in basketball?
I think it was, so when I was 14, I played on the 16 under USA team.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for some reason, like I was living in a bubble in Syracuse, and I just wasn't aware that we had like USA teams and can like, play at those type of events even when we were young.
So you, at 14, had you ever watched like Team USA basketball in the Olympics?
So when I was 14, so I think that sparked it. Like I remember when I was 14, that would be the 2008 Olympics.
Got it.
I remember watching that like at my grandma's house. And like I remember because Australia had on the onesies,
Oh my God, I don't even remember that. What?
They were look it up later. Look it up later.
I'm going to. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I remember. But it's interesting because I got an invitation to go to the tryouts, and they have all the youth things in Colorado Springs. And at first, my parents were like, "No, you're not going."
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they were like, "Can't miss school."
Oh, wait. So at what point in the year did you get called? Was it like spring, fall, before the Olympics, after the Olympics? Like when was it? Do you remember?
So I'm pretty sure it was spring.
Okay.
It was spring, and then it was probably May. May, and then we would have something in sometime in the summer.
Got it. Yeah.
And they were
so they said no.
Mm-hmm. And then
were you like, Mom, Dad, I want to go. This is my dream.
Well, I was like, all these people I know are gonna be there.
Okay.
And then
my friends.
My AAU coach was like, she needs to go. She really needs to be there. And then
so the coach knew that this was important and special.
Mm-hmm. And then I went and made the team, and then that kind of started my USA career. I went there by myself. Looking back, I'm like, wow, my parents just was like, bye.
Listen, if it makes you feel any better, my parents didn't say no because of school. My parents didn't believe that it was real that I got called into a youth team camp. They were like, this is somebody joking. We're not sending you to California on a plane by yourself. So, because I was about the same age as you, I was like probably 15, and I'd never been to anything like that before, and they didn't believe it. So that's funny.
That's the same for sure. And like, I've never flown anywhere like that by myself. And they were like looking back, it was like they were crying when I got on the plane. It was like, and now it's like, all right, I'm going to Russia. I'll see you when I see you. Totally.
Yeah. That experience makes you have to become like pretty independent at a young age. My parents were the same way. I was like a homebody as a kid. I was like, why would I go to college when I was little? I was like, I just want to stay at home and live with my parents. You know, like who wants to leave home? And then through the youth national team process, like that's how I became independent, and they would just put me on a plane and go around the world. It's crazy. So you go to your first Team USA camp, and then you see the Olympics, you watch Australian onesies. Was that like a moment when you said, okay, I want to get there one day?
Yeah. Yeah. I think once I knew it was like actually a thing and actually possible, that became my biggest goal, was to win a gold medal at the Olympics. And, had the pleasure of being there in 2016, and we were supposed to go back this summer, but hopefully we'll just wait till next summer.
Totally. It's true. So you're playing youth teams, national teams. You're playing in high school. What was your high school career like? Were you were probably just like an absolute all-star? You're like, yeah.
So when I was in 8th grade, I was 6'2". So I'm 6'4" right now, and like. Okay. I've been 6'4" since.
Do you think any more inches are going to be in your favor?
No. I'm going to the chiropractor and stretching, and so maybe I'll just like get a little bit.
Okay, I need to do that
then. But yeah, I played varsity. So in New York, you can play varsity as an 8th grader.
Okay.
So because I was 6'2", there you go.
Yeah.
Was more of a defensive player.
Really?
Because
interesting.
It was like I could block shots and I could rebound, and like the rest was still a work in progress. And then just continued to kind of figure it out as I went through high school.
Do you feel like you developed your offensive game through high school, or do you think that came later?
No, I think I developed it through high school, especially my junior, senior years. Like I remember my dad, he was like begging me to shoot a 3, like begging. And I was like, I wouldn't shoot a 3. And
in a game or just
in a game? In a game.
Okay.
And I wouldn't shoot a 3. And I'm like, I don't know what was wrong with me. Like looking back, I'm like, I shoot 3s all the time. But I just had to start from inside out, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. So it's not like it came naturally. It was something that you were consistently working on, and that started in high school.
Yeah. I mean, it was just because playing my dad, I'm going to bring up my dad a lot, it seems like.
I know. I love it.
Yeah. He would be the person, he was like, I don't want you to be like a run to the block type of player. You know, I don't want you to just be like, oh, you're tall, you're the center.
Yeah.
And that's where he was like, I want you to be able to learn to dribbling around the block, be able to shoot and
shoot a 3,
shoot a 3, and just kind of be able to play all over the place. And now I can.
Yeah. You have him to thank for your success, or at least partially. I'm sure you have a little bit to do with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So high school career, you're better at defense, you get better offensively, you're like focusing on technical. You end up at UConn. The UConn women's basketball program, like the best. How does that happen? How do you, like, did you go on a recruiting trip and you're just like, this is it? Or was it the type of thing where you knew they were the best, you wanted to be at the best place and competing with the best and like winning all the time?
Trying to figure out my wires.
They're so long, right?
I'm just like, what's happening?
I'm pretty sure this could span the length of the apartment I'm in right now if I wanted it to.
Yeah, so UConn came on the radar pretty early because I'm from New York.
Yeah,
so it's
close.
Close. I think the first time I went there, maybe I was a freshman or sophomore.
Okay.
But they didn't offer me, I don't think. But you know what I remember?
Please tell me.
Is like looking back, I'm like some of my clothing options, like that also evolved.
Okay. I can't wait to see where this is going.
I went to one recruiting trip, and like there's a picture with me with Coach Auriemma.
Okay.
I have on blue high school sweatpants, right?
Okay.
With like the name down the side or whatever.
Yeah.
Pink shirt. I'm like,
okay.
All right. Just being exotic. Like my hair was a mess. It took me a while for my hair, but yeah.
So but your clothing choice in high school had nothing to do with choosing UConn.
No.
You just had interesting clothing choice. Didn't we all? Like
more like I really wasn't as concerned about it. You know, I wasn't as focused on it, I guess. And now I have to be better.
have to be better. It's important.
I mean,
but hey, we all had those moments. Like you do not want to see what I looked like in middle school or high school. But that's the best part about it. It's like we didn't care. Although I will say I cared a lot in middle school. Those were the worst years of my life, I would say.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you didn't care.
I think as kids we probably cared too much because it's like everybody's mean and whatever. And I was tall. So
yeah, how'd you handle that? Like was
any long sleeve was like here.
It was what is it? 3/4 length sleeve.
3/4.
You were like, this is on trend, and I can now.
I invented that. Yeah.
Oh man. So you end up at UConn, but how? Like you went and visited. Did you visit because they called you, or were you just interested? Like, was it, I'm going to go watch a game? How do you end up in a pink t-shirt with blue sweatpants, standing next to the coach and looking back and being like, what was I doing?
I'm pretty sure they had us come up for a recruiting trip. It was college game day. So it's actually the only college game day that UConn has had for the women's team. It might be the only one they've done for the women.
Really?
Don't quote me, but I think it's close.
Wow. Okay.
So I remember that Maya was playing. Remember just kind of being a part of that whole atmosphere. And then when I committed to UConn when I was a junior.
Okay.
I mean, I think
did you look at other schools?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went to a few other schools. I went to North Carolina, Duke, Maryland, Penn State. But like I knew I wanted to go to UConn. It was just kind of like
it was just like you knew.
I didn't want to like commit early, I guess. But it still was early enough.
Yeah, but so when you committed, you're junior, so that's what, 2010?
2011, I think.
Yeah. So I was looking at UConn national championships, 11. I thought you guys had way more than that. But that's still a lot.
It's been a little rough for us lately.
But it was a little rough before you got there. Like, first of all, before we get into your college career, when you got to UConn, you became a household name. And I'm going to read off these stats just to like preface what you did and what we're about to talk about. So, and they're just insane. 4-time national champion, 4-time most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament, 3-time AP player of the year, and you end your career with a 151-5 record, and 4 of those losses came in your freshman season. When you're showing up to UConn on campus freshman year, what was in your head? Like, what were you thinking? Did you think what you ended up accomplishing was possible?
I mean, I think I hoped,
yeah.
You know, like it was like the question, it was like, when you get to school, what do you want to do? Like, what's your goals here? And I'm like, well, I want to win.
Yeah. It was just I want
to win them all. Like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, a lot harder than it is to kind of just say that for sure. My freshman year was by far the worst year. Like, wasn't
Why?
easy.
Because so going into your freshman year, UConn won in 2010, and then they didn't win again until your freshman year. So 2011, 2012, they don't win. So you're going into the program, and everybody's saying that maybe UConn's lost a step.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you handle that, being a freshman, being highly recruited? And I mean, that's just a ton of pressure.
Yeah. I think obviously it was pressure. I think I wasn't playing as well as I wanted to. Like, I was struggling kind of in the practice aspect. I thought I was working hard, but they want you to work so
10 times
much harder.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really figured out that there was more to kind of do. I was a little stubborn. I'm a little stubborn sometimes, and hard-headed. So I was trying to do my things my way, and he wanted me to do things his way, and we were kind of like that for a little bit. So
how did Coach Geno handle, like, what did you butting heads, but what did that look like?
In the end, I always lose because I'm the player.
True,
because I'm the player. Oh, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
I've had so many times where he was yelling at me, where I was doing something wrong. My freshman year was my freshman year, we only had Gamble, and that's where we play.
Okay.
We didn't have our practice facility yet.
Okay.
So we practiced where we played.
Okay. So Gamble is the arena.
Yeah. Gamble.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. One drill, I missed a rebound.
Okay.
I missed a rebound. Looking back, I'm like, wow. So he was like, Stewie, he was like, do you see those stairs right there?
Oh, no.
And I was like, yeah. He was like, run them. I was like, what? So I was running stairs during practice. They just continued. He forgot about me. Like, every time I got to the top, I was like, I should just turn left. I'm like, just go. Just turn left and leave.
Is left exit, stage left?
Yeah, exit.
Okay. You're like, go back to the dorms.
Yeah.
And you just kept running.
Mm-hmm. Kept doing it.
Did you enjoy, was that the first time you had a coach that had that type of personality and expected the absolute best out of you?
Yeah, I think from all aspects for sure. And I think looking back now, I could have handled my freshman year better. I'm sure there's always things that we can do better. But it's the way that he kind of helped me throughout my 4 years, it was the best decision of my life. And I understand, you have to break you down to build you back up, in some aspects, because some things we've learned that are not the best ways to do things. For
sure. What do you think? What's one of the things that he broke you down in and then built you back up? Can you think of anything specific?
I think it's just the working hard aspect. And, I thought I worked hard in high school, and I think for a kid, I probably worked hard. But it's even more than that. And it was, I was focused on my freshman year, right? And he was focused on beyond me even
your career,
being in college.
Yeah.
And just helping prepare me for that. And, now obviously in the WNBA, I can tell the difference for who went to UConn and who didn't. How that they kind of just handled themselves and take care of themselves.
That's pretty incredible that you can tell that. Mm-hmm. That takes a special, I mean, obviously, do you call him Coach Geno or Coach Auriemma?
Coach Auriemma.
Auriemma. So
you could call him whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. I guess I could. Hopefully he doesn't care. Like you said, I could call him Coach G. No, we're not going to do that. He is a legend in himself. And I do not want to mess that up. But I mean, that just takes such a special person. And he obviously, he's gotten the results, and UConn has the legacy that it does. And, it's all attributed to him, obviously the players that have come through. What do you think of UConn's dominance? Because I think that a lot of people, it's kind of like UNC women's soccer. They talk about, it's like powerhouse, and is that really good for the sport? Because, one team's winning the whole time. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's...
You're like, I won, so I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I won. And no, it is a thing. It's just because the first one I won, it was a surprise. Baylor. So Brittany Griner played on Baylor. They actually lost, which was like shocking to everyone. And then we were able to win.
Who did you guys play in the final?
Louisville.
Okay.
Then we won. I mean, obviously we won all the other ones. But
Yes. It's ridiculous that you can sit here and say that. I'm so jealous. Like, you have no idea, but I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I don't know. It's just tough. Like, I understand you want to have some like differences in the sport, but also you can't say that we were making the sport worse.
Totally.
Like we're trying to chase perfection and you're mad. You're mad about that. And it's, now it's like UConn hasn't won since I left, which sounds bad. Take that, whatever way you want.
I won't say anything.
But like, so now all these other teams have won and nobody's complaining. I mean, we still hear the same things about women's sports, and it's kind of just like, if we win, you complain. If we don't, you complain.
Yeah. I love what you just said, that you were chasing perfection. And I mean, I think that can never be discounted or, like looked down upon. That's what you want sports to be, is somebody. I mean, I think that's what we, as athletes, that's what we're all chasing, is perfection, because it's not attainable. But yeah, that's, I like that a lot. And I don't think it's not that I don't have a problem with you guys winning all the time. When I was at Stanford, I was like, dang it, we're not going to win.
Stanford once. So
Did you? One time.
I was one of my 5.
I probably watched that game and was pumped. So sorry.
Yeah, this is not a great moment.
In my it's all right. Year. Listen, you won enough. But what was the pressure like? Because at Stanford, my senior year, we went to the national championship and we were undefeated going into that final, and we lost. I'm gonna go cry in the corner for just a second. So, but the pressure of like winning every single game, you guys did that. You basically did that almost your whole career. And for me, that was one season. Like, I remember I was at a point of, was at my breaking point mid-season, just because I just was so scared we were going to lose. And I wanted it so badly.
And you lose, it's done.
Yeah. So how'd you handle it? Like, you're a college athlete. What was your mindset?
Well, I lost 4 times in my freshman year. So I was very used to losing. 3 of those was to Notre Dame. So okay. I'm happier you didn't go to Notre Dame.
I hate Notre Dame. We have that in common.
Cool. Perfect. Because I'm like, I still cannot get over it. But it was hard. I think my freshman year, like I said, it was kind of like a fluke. I mean, it was, we got lucky and then we played really well at the end.
Okay.
My sophomore year.
But you'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. My sophomore year, we were undefeated because that was like, we put all the pieces together and we just like crushed everyone.
Okay.
My junior year, we lost to Stanford. Could have had a crazy win streak. Crazy.
Yeah, you could have. Dang.
I'm still upset about that. But
Isn't it funny that you can be upset about something like one game mid-season that you lost and you like it broke a win streak and you've won so many other things, but still you're sitting here and like right now
that's the most annoying part.
Yeah, yes. Right now you're sitting there being like, I'm annoyed even in this day at this moment. Yeah, I think that's hilarious. Okay, so junior year that lose
was the hardest.
Okay.
We lose to Stanford at Stanford.
Still salty.
But that was the hardest season because it was like we won 2. If we don't win the 3rd, we can't win 4 in a row. Do you know what I mean? And it was like my senior year, nobody was going to like stop us, especially my last year. And it was just a lot of pressure and the same. Like I felt like we lost this one game to Stanford. Like we can't like lose all of our marbles right now because, sometimes we lose our minds if something kind of happens. But Yeah, that was for sure the hardest one. I remember after we went, I was emotional, and it was hard, and could finally exhale a little bit.
Yeah. And that was after your senior year.
No, my junior.
Junior.
Mm-hmm.
So
after my senior year, I was cool.
You're like, I'm going pro. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Wow. That's interesting. I would have never thought about it that way, in the sense of like you could take an exhale after your junior year, just because you think that you would. I mean, I guess you probably did that after every year, but junior was different.
I mean, it was just really, the Stanford loss really just killed us in a sense. It was just a lot.
But do you think that Stanford loss made it so that you went on to win your junior and senior year? It was kind of like a gut check.
No, I mean, it definitely highlighted some things that we needed to be better at. Like, I remember we came home from Stanford, right? And we had practice at 6 a.m. that next day.
Wow.
I was like, oh my God.
Because you probably landed at what time?
Who knows?
Yeah.
And they were like 6 a.m. practice. I was like, whoa.
Wow. Whoa. So that was kind of the way Coach Auriemma would keep you guys in check. That was something that was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, and he constantly would remind us, like, my senior year maybe? Yeah, my senior year. He was like, you guys would have been 100 and something wins in a row if you didn't lose to Stanford. I was like,
oh, man.
That's how he rolls, for sure.
Yeah. Sounds like it. So you crush your college career. Like, there's no disputing that, arguing that. You leave college undisputed GOAT. And surprising no one, you're drafted first. And this is in 2016. So you're drafted first overall into the WNBA to Seattle. Also, then that year you win a gold medal in Rio. Mm-hmm. And you are also named Rookie of the Year at the end of the season. What was the transition like from, and just walk me through that year, because that just seems, I mean, I feel like you just go from high to high to high, you know?
Mm-hmm. It was a lot. So 2016, my senior year, we won. It was April 5th. The draft was 2 weeks later, probably. And then 2 weeks after that was when like WNBA training camp started. So it was just kind of a whirlwind in a sense. Like, I remember so much was happening. I was at Indianapolis. That was where our championship was. And I was kind of like, well, what am I going to wear? What am I going to wear to the draft? Yeah.
Okay.
The draft. I'm like, I don't know.
This is, you ask yourself what you're going to wear to the draft right after you win.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was thinking about it. I mean, I was thinking about it before too. And it was just kind of like, this college stipend isn't really
gonna cut it. Yeah.
So that was the thing. Obviously getting drafted, coming out to Seattle. I had to fly back for my graduation because graduations are usually in May. Mm-hmm. And then it was just kind of like, you know, I'm learning the ropes in the WNBA, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, stop. We have the Olympic break. And I got a call from our head person for USA Basketball, Carol Callan, and she was like, I wanted to let you know, like, you're one of the 12. And
what was that feeling like?
I was like speechless. I think, you know, just knowing that was something that I've always wanted to be a part of, and now it was actually becoming a reality was pretty amazing. And then, then we started with the USA team. We went to Rio. We won. Rio was crazy. I heard you guys were like, I don't even know where you were.
We were all over the place in Brazil, nowhere near Rio, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And then we lost. So I'm glad your experience turned out better than mine.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
It's going to be better. It's going to be better in 2021.
Yeah. We'll both have good 2021.
Tokyo 2021.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But
so
yeah,
you come back from the Olympics and then you have to, for people who are listening, they probably don't realize like what your WNBA season timeline is like. Cause you guys start in May,
yeah,
you end in October.
yeah.
And Olympics is basically right in the middle. So your rookie year, you're going from college straight into the league, and then you pause, you go to Rio, you win, and then you have this high of winning a Olympic gold medal, but then you have to go back and you still have
Regular season games.
Yeah, you still have things that you want to accomplish. So how did you handle that?
I mean, it was kind of like I was just in a whirlwind, you know. I was just kind of going with wherever I was supposed to go. We took that 1 month break for the Olympics and then came right back into it. And I mean, my first year, we were like 17 and 19. Like we didn't have it figured out. That's for sure.
I was about to say, yeah. Mediocre.
We were a little below 500. But we made the playoffs. I think I'm pretty sure we made the playoffs.
But how did you, because you just come from college winning everything, you're playing on a club team that, like you said, doesn't have everything figured out. But then you go to play with Team USA in Rio, you win an Olympic gold medal. So how are you handling like the juxtaposition of winning all the time, winning with Team USA, but then like grinding it out in the league?
I wasn't handling it very well.
Okay.
My first game was in LA at Staples against the Sparks. And I was like, oh, first game, whatever. Like, it's going to be great. Da, da, da. We get smoked by like 20. Smoked.
Were you nervous?
Probably a little, yeah.
You were just more pissed that you guys got smoked.
We got smoked. And then I was like mad. Like I was in the locker room and I was mad because it's like, okay, I lost. I should be mad. And the WNBA season is so quick that it's like you can't really think about the game for very long because it's like we have another one coming up. I think we went back to Seattle and we had another game shortly after. So it's like I was mad and my teammates were like, all right, where are we going to go eat?
Was that the first time that you would experience like that professional mindset of like the game that we just played is over with? We got another one in a couple days.
Right. Like I can't just like sit and sulk about it forever. Whereas, you know, at UConn, sometimes they want you to feel that for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can't, I mean, I guess I can understand that because I haven't played on sometimes some of the best club teams. So it's always interesting when you're like having to try to figure out, because it just seems like you're like a winner. You win and then dealing with not winning. Like it's just, I don't know. It's like you almost practice it, but you don't want to be good at it because you don't want to be losing all the time.
Yeah, it humbles you real quick. That's for sure. Like,
definitely.
It's like, okay.
Definitely.
But yeah, that year happened. Then I went overseas to Shanghai, China, and that started my pro career.
Yeah. So you obviously first season doesn't end up the way you want it to, but you still win Rookie of the Year, which is incredible. I don't know how you do that being on like a below 500 team, but you do. And then you go overseas. So can you talk a little bit about playing abroad? You've played 2 seasons in China and 2 in Russia, but a lot of people probably don't understand that a lot of you guys go play abroad.
Yeah.
Give me some insight onto that. Like why you do it, what it's like.
Yeah. I mean, I think for you guys, it's a little different, I think, based on what I am aware of, which is not a lot. So for the WNBA, for professional basketball players, it's normal for us to kind of go into a WNBA season because it's those dates you said, May till October. And then from there, we go overseas from October until almost May. And it's just like a never-ending cycle of being overseas. So my first 2 years, I was in Shanghai, China, which was amazing. Definitely a cool place to be. Best place in China for sure. And then my last 2, I was in Russia. But it's kind of like if you're young, you have to go. and you have to at least like try it. And if you don't like it, then you stop going and hopefully find another like source of income.
Why do you have to go when you're younger?
I mean, the money's there. You're just kind of leaving the money on the table. And
can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah.
How compensation works, WNBA, and then playing overseas?
Yeah. So I'm about to enter my 5th year in the league if we play. So my first 3 years, I was on my rookie contract. No, excuse me, my first 4 years, I was on my rookie contract. And this is before our CBA, collective bargaining agreement, that we just finished last fall, kind of came about. And the rookie deals are super low. I mean, not super low, but like super low in a term of what you think compared to like an NBA player.
Absolutely.
And it's like 50,000 or whatever. And then you take away the taxes, the 401k, all that, and it's like,
it's not a lot after that.
Not a lot. And it's just kind of like, overseas is where the money is better, and where there's going to be a lot more kind of offers, and also they know people by who they are, but also you have to kind of continue to prove yourself in new territories. But yeah, money is different compared to the WNBA and overseas. And it'll be interesting to see what happens this year as far as overseas, because now with coronavirus, the economy is kind of messed up in a lot of different ways. But still, like, if you want to play, like for me, I want to play basketball, so I'm going to go play wherever I can play. And
for sure,
that's the easy decision.
Yeah. So really the overseas decision is like, it's money. And then it's also the ability to be getting in games year round. Cause that's similar to us, where our season, the NWSL only goes, well, it's changed from year to year, but like March through sometimes October. And then we have a league over in Australia, and people will go play in that for the remainder of the year to finish, to fill those months. Especially if they're not getting called into national team camps and stuff like that. It just gives you the ability to get games. And I don't think people realize how important it is to like have consistent playing environment, not just like training, but like games.
No, it's hard. It's hard to like not play and then play. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you guys to not play and then play. And then the same with us. Like, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've felt it. I just got back to Utah 3-4 days ago, and I had my first team training a couple days ago, and I was like, hello, we're back.
You're like, hamstrings are on.
Yeah, exactly.
Are burning.
Exactly. What is the like emotional, mental piece of going overseas? Like, China and Russia are very different cultures from America. Like, you're pretty young when you first went over there. How did you handle that in that aspect of life?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been overseas before with USA Basketball, but nothing where it's been like a long stint like that. And I was young and I was excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to go to China. This is going to be great. But China is different compared to Russia, because you can only have one foreigner on each team.
Oh,
so it's
wow.
me and 11 other Chinese players. And it's
did you learn some Chinese? Phrases?
Ni hao.
Okay. There you go.
Listen, it was a little while ago, so
yeah, no,
I'm focused on Russian now.
True.
But yeah, it's tough, and there's no way to really prepare for it. Like, I brought over my snacks, and I brought over my this and that, and I mean, I was in a hotel room for 5 months. For 5 months. Holiday Inn in China is nice.
I was about to say, they are nice over there.
With a hot plate. So I'm like, yeah.
Did you order room service every day?
Yes.
Okay.
Room service experience. I was near a Starbucks, so that was great.
Yeah, give me some good. You've got to have some good, like, wild overseas stories. Anything crazy happen? Russia or China?
What happened? I mean, listen, I swear I was in China once, and I had like a driver because I'm not driving in China.
That's legit.
We're leaving my Holiday Inn, and all of a sudden, oops.
You're fine.
All of a sudden, I'm like, I see feet underneath the car. And I'm like, what is happening? I think someone ran someone over. And the body was just there. I was like, whoa. That happened to me.
And you just thought that you saw a body that got run over, and you just, you were in the car.
I was just
looking at another
past.
car.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's a wild story. I wasn't expecting something like that.
You said wild, so I gave you what I had.
You give the people what they want.
I don't know.
But you're re-signed to go back over this coming year
to Russia. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that you'll continue to play over there, even though, like you said, you guys signed a new CBA, collective bargaining agreement, this past January that has improved a lot of the issues, compensation. But you think that you'll continue to go for the foreseeable future? You think you'll just every year you'll go?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll go for as long as I can. I mean, and as long as I can like kind of hold up. So my first year in Russia, you probably know, but the other people might not. We were in the EuroLeague championship, and I ruptured my Achilles.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
That put me out for a little bit, and not being able to play sucked. So now, any opportunity I have to play, I wanna kind of do that and be a part of it. And still, like, the money is better in the WNBA. And listen, we've come a long way, but still, I can't turn down the offers from overseas.
Makes sense. You shouldn't get what you can while you can,
Exactly.
How did you handle Achilles injury? Was that the first time you had a major one?
Yeah, that was my first major one. Oh, I mean, I've been having a lot of like flashbacks while I've been home, just because the last time I was home in Seattle, I was on crutches.
Wow.
I was in a boot, and I was in all of that. But it was a crazy experience. We were in the championship 20 seconds before halftime. I go up to shoot, and on my way up, like, something happened to my leg. So it ruptures on the way up, which is weird. Anyway, so they say. And I remember I was on the ground, and I was like, I think I just ruptured my Achilles. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, I hope I broke my ankle.
Instead of rupturing your Achilles.
Yeah, because I'm like, maybe that's 2 months or something, and then I'll be back. But it was the weirdest feeling. So I stood up, and, like, imagine this is my foot. I could only feel the heel. Like, I couldn't feel anything else. Sorry.
I don't like talking about this, but I asked.
I'm like, oh, you don't want to see my scar? I'm like,
oh my gosh.
But yeah, it was, I mean, I was in Sopron, Hungary. So we went to the hospital, no MRI. They did an ultrasound. They're like, we can't find your Achilles. I'm like, cool. Like, where's the vodka? That's how I was. Like, where's my drink?
Appropriate question. I appreciate that.
They shot a blood thinner in my stomach, and the next night I flew direct Vienna to LA.
Were you in pain that whole time, or was it kind of like the pain and then it was fine? Not fine, but
It wasn't even like it was painful. It was just the weirdest feeling I've ever kind of experienced. And like, when I was flying back, I was walking on my leg because I'm like, it's already ruptured, so who cares? I mean, it's not going to rupture more.
Wild. Wow. I can't believe you flew all the way, like, halfway. I mean, I guess you had to fly halfway around the world with a ruptured Achilles, get back to America, get it fixed up, and then
ASAP, yeah.
And then you're on the road to recovery. How was the mental, physical, emotional process of rehab?
It was a roller coaster. I think that was the best way to put it. the people that I rehabbed with, John Meyer, and he was like, listen, this is going to be a roller coaster of a journey. And that's exactly what it was. You know, some days I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And then it's like, you know, you don't know if you're going to be able to be back, be able to play where I was playing. It was just nuts. I mean, I couldn't walk until July, and I got hurt in April. And like, I was talking to someone today. I want to get my house redone, basically. And in the guest bathroom, I have like the shower with the tub. And I'm like, I'm definitely not for that because I got injured, and I hope I never get injured again. But that is the most difficult thing to get in and out of if you can't walk.
Totally. And you probably had a boot on. So did you have to hang it out the side?
I had the trash bag.
Okay. You did the trash bag method.
I had all types of things. I had the plastic one you can order on Amazon. Like I had the little elevated cushion thing. But wow. And it was my right side, so I couldn't drive.
That is the worst part. That happened to me when I lived in, I had full ankle reconstruction when I lived in Brooklyn, New York. And I did my rehab, and it was my right foot. I did my rehab on the Upper East Side, and I would have to crutch to the subway or to the bus, to the subway, to a bus, and then crutch to the rehab center. So
that's intense. Yeah, I was like, nope.
Yeah, I didn't have enough money to pay for Uber, so I was like, public transportation is what it is.
I made my friend do it. I was like, please come help me.
Yeah. All right. Well, not to like back up a bit, but so you've been abroad every season, but you in your first season of WNBA, not so great, win Rookie of the Year. Second season goes okay, but then third season you end up, well, second season you're an all-star, which is sweet. And then third year, you're all-star, you're league MVP, and you win your first WNBA title.
Yeah.
What, for one, what did your team do? Like, how did you guys get there? And what changes did you make when you turned pro?
Yeah. So I think the first year was obviously rough. The second year was getting better, but we still had like a terrible record. And then the third year, it was kind of the year that we put all the pieces together and we were able to kind of come together as a team. For me, going from my second to my third year, like I remember like putting an emphasis on, I'm gonna, like whatever I'm doing obviously isn't good enough, and like gonna be better and continue to take care of my body more. And it's more than just, you know, I learned this more than just being on the basketball court. You know, it's the things you do off the court. It's, you know, what I'm putting into my body. Yeah. I was like, all right, I'm all in. Now I'm all in. Here's my thing. And like just having the mindset that year I was going to continue to get better. Like I knew, I mean, like, you know, you have your goals going into things, and I knew I wanted to have like an MVP like season. To have that, you need to like make sure your team is doing well as well. So I think that year, my third year, we actually lost our first game.
Really? I feel like there's a study behind teams that lose their first game of the season and then end up winning a championship. Yeah, I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah. Like lost our first game and almost lost our shit. Like, am I supposed to say shit? I don't know.
You can say shit.
Like almost lost our minds. But then we're able to kind of figure it out. And then just by the end, we were like clicking like no other. So it was a great year. It's sad for me to think that was 2 years ago, because I haven't played WNBA since.
Yeah, because of your injury.
It's gonna happen this year. Yep. But our team plays really well together and really kind of has a great chemistry, and it's fun. It's fun being here in Seattle and playing in front of great fans and stuff like that.
Would you say that you want to be in Seattle forever? Like, would you want to do your whole career there? Forever.
Yeah. I mean, I like it here. I'm from Syracuse, New York, so that's like 4 hours from the city, so it's not the closest thing. But I think I've been kind of welcomed with open arms here, and um, we have more to do. Like last year, Sue and I both weren't playing. This year, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we're all going to be in our bubble cities. So technically, I won't be in front of the fans again this year.
Yeah, can you kind of give a little quick update on what's happening with WNBA for this season, if you're allowed to? I know we were very top secret about a lot of things.
I'll give you my update. What I think.
All right.
I mean, when is this releasing? July?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, we'll probably know more then. So if you want, give us top secret info.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure it out. It's between Vegas and IMG, Bubble City.
All the teams there, or what?
All the teams there.
Yep.
Once you're in, you can't go out type of vibe. And we're going to have, so the only thing that helps us is because we were going to have that month break for the Olympics. Now we have more time to kind of fit games in. But they're saying, we'll play 22 games, so we play each team twice. Very limited number of games or days. Like, it's supposed to be like 22 games in 50 days. And for me, that's a lot.
I was about to ask what the time frame was going to be, because that is a lot. Are you concerned with that sort of thing for injury, overuse?
I am a little concerned. I think that, I know everybody's trying to make something work, but I think we just need to make sure we're doing it in smart ways, and we have all the resources we need to kind of recover and that type of thing. And I mean, I've played like 10 to 15 games maybe since I've been cleared. So it's going to be interesting, but I don't know. I mean, we need to play this season, that's for sure. But just hoping that we don't run out of time to kind of agree on a deal or a proposal.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, fingers crossed that something gets done. You get some sort of 2020 season.
Yeah, you guys just kind of like snuck up and we're like, boom.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
World Cup tournament. Oh my God.
It was top secret, and so nobody knew, and then we just revealed it to the world. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with us and how it all plays out. But it's nice to be back on the field, so hopefully you feel that way once you get back on the court. But just to like wrap things up a little bit before we end, because I know I've had you here for a while, I want to talk a little bit about off the court stuff and just advocacy work that you've done. And in the past couple of years, you've really put yourself out there, which I respect a lot. You wrote an incredibly powerful piece for the Players Tribune describing your own experience with sexual abuse. And you've been a very outspoken supporter for the Me Too movement. And talk to me about that. Like, do you feel like you've always been outspoken? Was there a time when you were like, no, this is something I want to talk about? What was your process there?
Yeah. I think, when I kind of graduated from college and kind of realized, now it's just me, and like I'm taking care of myself and that type of thing. I'm someone I'm honest. I'm an honest person, I think, for the most part. But I wanna be genuine as well. Like, I want you to know how I'm feeling. And the Me Too article wasn't the easiest thing for me to kind of put out there. And I was in China when it happened. I remember where I was in China. But it was kind of like, how can I use my story and my experience to help someone else, to help potentially save someone's life or save them from kind of going down the wrong path and that type of thing. And it was tough, because it just brings back old memories and that type of thing. But it needed to be done. And I didn't need to do it for me, but just to help the other people. And I think, even now, we have these platforms. we have these big giant platforms because of, you know, where we got ourselves within our sports. And it's kind of a disservice if you don't use your platform to really speak up for what people deserve. And I mean, you know, it's happening.
I was about to say,
right now
with everything happening in the world. I know you made headlines speaking out about the killing of George Floyd and being at protests. And why do you think, as athletes, we drive some of the most important conversations in America?
I think it's just because, you know, a lot of people, we have a lot of eyes on us. And I don't think that's something that's, you know, everybody knows that. And at the same time, we're also people, you know, we're also going through some of these things that other people are going through. And right now, obviously the racism that's still happening in our country is actually insane. And it's just continuing to kind of educate ourselves and learn how we can be better and, you know, help this country be better. Because in the end, like I talked about when I was younger, we were young and we represented Team USA and like the best thing ever. But it's like sometimes like we want to represent a country that treats everyone equally. And
sure.
Yeah, we're the best country in the world, but doesn't mean we can't get better.
We have a lot of work to do. Definitely. Exactly. Yeah. I think it's interesting that I feel like as athletes, we encounter and we work with and we're teammates with people from all different backgrounds and lifestyles, color, gender, sexuality. And I think that we, or at least I kind of like, we have this space where I think people feel safe and good, but then you realize that that's not the case everywhere. Yeah. And then you're like, but it should be, and it needs to be. And how do we create what we have, like something special here within a team environment throughout the country? Because it's just, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. Like I saw one of the NFL guys talking about, like, you know, in a locker room, it's probably the most diverse atmosphere that we're in. And I think for all of our sports, like you said, you know, whoever's race, gender, all the things you said, everybody's different. You know, everybody has their own thing. And we just accept that. And I think it's also a generational thing. Like I think we're the ones that are the most accepting of whoever anybody wants to be, you know? And how do we make the rest of the world kind of see the way that we see things?
I agree. Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. And the one thing that encourages me is that like we are the future, like we're creating it right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm hopeful for what is going to come in the future because of the conversations and the things that are happening now.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely inspiring to see. Like, don't get me wrong. Last week was a tough week for me. I was sad. I was exhausted.
Same.
And it's like, I'm not Black, you know, so I can't even relate to like how the Black community is feeling. But it's like, it's all those emotions, but it's also inspiring the way that everyone is coming together so quickly, especially in a time where it's like, you know, there is a coronavirus happening. Everybody is in quarantine and people are still doing what they can, even if it's from home.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But thank you for being a voice and for, you know, with everything that you're doing. Like you're a partner, official partner with the RAIN organization, which created and operates the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Like those sorts of things are just so important. And that, you know, there are people out there that probably have benefited from you speaking up. And I have a lot of respect for you. So
look it.
Oh my God. Is that that's after surgery?
I mean, I hope.
Well, yeah. It's like, so did you have staples or is it sutures?
You're
like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was staples though. Dissolvable.
They make dissolvable staples?
Listen, I don't know, but they they put a dissolvable screw in my like heel bone.
So with the Achilles, they pull it back and then they screw it into your heel bone.
Yeah, let me give you a visual.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It went like super high up my calf, so that's why my scar is like this big.
Yeah.
And I have like the Haglins, which is the bone spur on the back. It goes down, and then I have this Haglins bump or whatever, so it's not flat. And it's just from like rubbing on the shoe and whatever, I guess. I don't know. So Achilles ruptures, and it's like up my leg. So then they had to like pull it down. You're not even watching.
I know.
Shave off the bone, right?
So you lost your Haglins bump.
My foot got smaller. Screw it in and then like stitch it up or whatever.
Yeah, super simple. Really just chill, no problems.
Mm-hmm. I woke up from surgery. Whoa. I was like super messed up.
Messed up on painkillers or messed up pain-wise? Like in your Achilles?
No, I woke up like I was delirious. I was telling my mom and my agent, I was like, you guys are so bossy. I was like,
oh, you were a sassy out of surgery person. It's so fascinating finding out what people's post-surgery personalities are like. I'm pretty sure I'm just kind of, well, my first surgery I ever had, I came out laughing, and I think I asked the doctor, I said something ridiculous to the doctor. I don't know, it was bad. But then all my surgeries after that were, I was like really scared going in, so I came out kind of freaked out. But you were a sassy post-surgery.
Yeah. They give me like the apple juice, and they're like, drink it, and you can't even. I was like, don't show the logo
of the apple juice because you're Red Bull.
Yeah, because I'm Red Bull. See.
Wow, so you were concerned about sponsorships out of surgery.
I was thinking, I'm like, don't show them, don't give them any.
You should have had them put your apple juice in the Red Bull bottle if you were thinking ahead. I don't want to say next time because there's not going to be a next time. But
yeah, I didn't have the bottle, so
okay. So Achilles injury, rehab, it's your first major one. You had a text from Kobe right when you got back to LA.
Yep.
How was he through that process with you?
I think when I landed on that flight from Vienna, like I had no Wi-Fi, which was rough. But I landed, and Kobe's text was the first one I saw. And to have him kind of be there and just be in support of me right away, like right from the jump, knowing that someone like him went through the process. I was set up to meet all the same doctors that he used. And he was just there. He was just there for support. He was a soundboard, and he would check in with me throughout my journey. And it was tough. It was tough hearing he passed. We were actually with Team USA. I was going to play my first game back that next day after we found out the news. And it's just, I mean, I still can't believe it. Like someone like that, like obviously he was a legend, but he's also like an icon, like everybody knows who Kobe is and what he's done and what he was doing for women's sports. Especially being an advocate for women's basketball. It's just tough, sometimes like life can't figure out why life works the way it does. But definitely going to continue to do what we can in his honor and in Gigi's honor and all the other victims. And I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible, but it's 1,000 times worse when kids are involved.
Yeah, I was beside myself that day and for a long time after. We were actually in camp as well with the national team. And just, I was in tears all day. And I didn't know Kobe personally, so I can't imagine what you were feeling and what, so many people were feeling. But he really was, I feel like, doing so much for you guys, and because he wanted Gigi to have that. But yeah, so hard. And I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. It's no
yeah,
words, but
sometimes there's no words. But you get back, like you said, crazy. It's the day after Kobe passed away. You play your first game back from injury with that weight on you, and you're also playing at UConn. How did you feel, like, stepping out on the court and just being back? That first game back is always just, there's nerves, there's excitement, there's questions.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I was expecting it to be an emotional day, coming back and like thinking about this before even realizing or learning about Kobe's death. So it was definitely even more emotional. Obviously we were honoring Kobe, Gigi, and all of the victims and families before the game. And then, it was having to like flip that switch and be like, okay, we're going to play, but we're going to play for them. Like Kobe would want us to play. And like saying that, like, everybody says that, but that's actually how it would have been. They would have wanted us to play that game. And coming back from injury, I mean, it was a blur. When you come back from the first game, it's kind of like my head is spinning. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, just run up and down.
Totally.
Run up and down the court. I made my first shot, which was great. But I should have known that if I made the first one, I was going to miss all the rest.
You didn't make one other shot the whole game?
Nope.
Oh, no. So do you feel like you're 100% back now? Because that was back in January. That was your first game back, and you were ramping up leading into the season. Coronavirus hits. Do you feel like you were, I was like right at the, get-go of getting back into season, you were feeling good, or were you kind of thankful that you had a little bit extra built-in time to get back to 100%?
So I think I was in like exactly where I wanted to be if I would have had to stop playing for 3 months. Oh. I was in Russia, and I went to Russia right after the USA thing. So we had a tournament in Serbia, and then I went to Russia. And I just either one game or 2 games before, just broke out of my minute restriction. Because all those games, it was like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 20, whatever, 3, whatever, and just keeps going.
For people who are listening, a minute restriction is like when you're coming back from injury, the ATC or the medical staff will put limits on the number of minutes you can play as you ramp back up.
Yeah. So I just got out of that, and I was feeling good, but I think I'm not upset like at the extra time. Like I'm taking advantage of the time that we have to kind of make sure that I'm really, really good. I've been going to rehab still in Seattle, which has been nice. I have Peloton, which is nice.
I feel like a lot of people got Pelotons in the coronavirus.
Peloton was like the thing. I'm like,
their stock probably popped for sure.
Yeah.
Are they? I don't even know if they're publicly traded, but just saying. They did well. But so you're feeling good to potentially go to the bubble. Tell us, just define the bubble for us so people know exactly the bubble city, what you're talking about.
The bubble city. The bubble is where we will go and play our season.
And you guys are calling it Bubble City because essentially, like NWSL, leagues are trying to create this bubble atmosphere environment so that you don't have people coming in and out and potentially bringing the virus in. And everyone within the bubble, like you guys would get tested, that sort of thing, like we're doing. Yeah,
tested all the time. Did you have to do the one where it touched your brain?
Yeah. Have you done it again?
No, I didn't have to do it. Seattle.
What do you mean?
So I actually took it on Monday, and I walked in there
What do
And
you
I
mean
was
you
like,
took it? Because I did nose and then I did blood. You just did blood? Or what
no,
test
I'm
did you do?
sorry. I did the COVID test, the
Okay.
nose.
Okay.
But I walked in there and right away I was like, wait, is this the one that touches my brain? Because I saw it. I saw the thing. And I'm
It's
like,
long.
no way.
The swab is very long.
No. So they did the one. They're like, technology evolves. I was like, oh, cool. It just like goes in and it's just like a little tickle. And that was it.
So you're young. Like you're 24, 25, 24,
25, 25.
25. And you've played 3 seasons, you know, you missed one, but you've already established yourself as a household name in a league that is very hard to break into. How do you think you've been able to do that? Why? What's the secret sauce for Stewie?
Secret sauce. I think my secret sauce is just the fact that, you know, I came in as a sponge, but also knowing who I am and what I can do and being confident in that. And also just continuing to grow and really working for that. I think sometimes people come to the pro level and don't always work as hard as they should. And, you know, I want to do more than just be here, you know, I want to win and be successful.
Do you feel like your mental game is part of it?
Yes. I think like now I'm like the mental side of things is like 90%.
Totally. I agree. It's so important.
Absolutely.
The fact that you've
You
learned
can't
that
tell me
young.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. The fact that you've learned that so young is like, and I can't, I'm going to, 10 years from now, I'm going to look at your career and just be like, oh my God. And you're probably still going to be playing. And the amount that you're going to accomplish is just mind boggling. And I'm jealous, but also very proud. So season 3 comes up of your pro career. You win the league, but you also win the MVP, and you went into the season saying, I want to have an MVP season. What was that like? Just achieving everything that you set out to accomplish?
I think it was just, you know, everything that I was working for. And we talked about the mental aspect of things, but like mentally knowing what I wanted to do and not messing around with it. And I think that to be able to kind of see that come to fruition, good word.
Good word.
It was great, and it let me taste a little bit of the success at the WNBA level, and it was something that I want to feel more. You know, I want it to happen more than once, and continuing to just be at that high level and bring it back as many times as I can.
Do you think that the fact that you went into the season with very clear goals, do you think that was part of the reason you were able to be successful because you set those ahead of time?
Yeah, I think for me, and I think, you know, I'm a person that I like to make goals and I like to try to achieve them, and I hold myself accountable. You know, I do the things that sometimes I don't want to do, but I know that I still have to do them. And if I don't, like if I don't work out, I'll feel like shit. You know, it's like now I've ruined it. You know, now I've lost it all.
It's all over.
But it's just, I mean, just holding ourselves to high standards, because like we want to be more than what we are.
Totally. Chasing perfection right there.
Chasing perfection.